Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the third and final match of tonight's Slipstream EU coverage of the ECC. We are looking at Division 1.1 to see Astro Allegiance take on Valor Esports. Valor Esports sitting second in the table with a 4-0 record. Astro Allegiance are fresh off a 3-2 loss to Fort Templar Renegades that concluded just now. So they're going to have to get themselves back into gear for a difficult fixture against an unbeaten side above them in the table. For this cast, I am joined by Greybeard. How you doing?
I am fabulous. It's been a day of casting. I've just come off casting 3 series, and now I'm here in the ECC, so excited to go. Very excited to see some high-level play, and from what I can see of these two teams, I mean, there's some distance between them in the league, but I mean, I think Valor will be the favorites, but there's not a huge separation between them. And yes, Astro's come off the loss, but hopefully we have a very, very tight and hard-fought series coming up.
Yes, absolutely. The seeding between these two teams is effectively identical. Both teams come in right around the 1690 MMR mark, but seeding not really the best barometer. The higher you go up the ECC divisions, of course, some teams are more focused on scrims than they are on playing ranked. And this Astro Allegiance team was formerly known as Rise Esports. They were newly promoted this season from Division 2, and they've done pretty good so far. I mean, to be 3-2 and sitting in mid-table as a newly promoted team, that's certainly something to be proud of. I think they'll be a little bit disappointed that they're not 4-1 right now. I'm really chasing down those teams at the top of the table, but I mean, you're still on a positive record. So if you can get yourself a series win here, you are right back in the mix. And equally importantly, you'd be taking the unbeaten team remaining in the division down a peg.
Well, it's all there, both these teams being in the running for the playoffs. So now it comes down to how you play on the day out there in the cauldron of competitive Rocket League.
And this is the 4th fixture in a row, I believe, for Astro Allegiance tonight. They've been involved in multiple competitions, including, as already mentioned, a fixture in this division just now, a 3-2 loss to Fort Templar Renegades. So not only have they been on the go for quite some time, but they've suffered a Game 5 defeat in this division. That's going to sting for them in the first couple of games of this series. They might struggle to get themselves going a bit.
It is a tough ask, coming just fresh off that. And also the Game 5s, those are very intense mentally. You feel like you're bleeding out there on the field. And when it's that close and you come away with a loss, it's massively disappointing. This affects teams in different ways. So either they're going to be down and hard on themselves because of that loss, or alternatively, maybe it's the fire they need to come out all guns blazing here with a sort of maybe nothing to lose attitude and just throw everything at it.
Yeah, definitely. Some teams will thrive on having to play multiple fixtures in a row and really challenging yourself at different levels of the game. So Astro Allegiance, I think they are one of the teams that can potentially cope with a 3-2 loss, but of course it's still not the ideal scenario. But just to take a look at the Valor Esports on the other side, this is a new team in Division 1 this season, and of course they are one of our league's active sponsors. You can use the Valor command in the chat to check them out. But they sit 4-0 right now, +9 on the game win difference. They're only behind Irrelevant Esports at the top of the table at the moment. Their record is 5-1, so 2 games in hand for Valor Esports to try and make that up. Make no mistakes, they are still the favourites to win this division by virtue of that unbeaten record, but Irrelevant Esports have really come on strong in the last couple of weeks with a few wins since they were owned by the org formerly known as Blizzard Wizards. So Valor Esports, it is a winnable fixture for them, and if the news gets to them that Astro Allegiance have just lost just now, they'll be feeling pretty high on confidence heading into this series. So as far as the prediction goes, the seeding is quite close between these teams. I think Astro Allegiance is capable of competing in this one for sure, but I think Valor Esports will know what's on the line and they'll be ready to produce a good performance. So I'll give it to Valor Esports in 4 games.
Well, the statistics are hard to go against. They've had a really, really good run in this season, so it's hard to go against that. But there's always the potential for that fly in the ointment, the spanner in the works of an underdog team popping off and having a good time, having had a tough day at the office. So I'm a big fan of the underdog, so why not? Let's go with Astro to take it and upset the apple cart for Valor Esports.
Well, this Astro Allegiance team is comprised of a couple of people that will be familiar to the Slipstream viewership community. A couple of casters, Broken and Snicks, who have been active in Slipstream lately, so we do wish them the best in what will be a competitive series. But these two teams are quite closely matched. We are just waiting on a couple of people to still join the lobby. We do have plenty of players present, so the series will be getting underway shortly after some slight delays.
I cast with Broken last week. During the course of last week, we cast together for the first time, so that's pretty groovy.
Yeah, Broken has been on this roster for a little while for Astro Allegiance, but as you mentioned already, did some casting for Slipstream. But nice to see a player that is operating at a high level in both playing and casting. That can be quite a challenge. I can't really speak for that personally, as sort of a player that is hovering in mid-champ. I've never really had the opportunity to do both simultaneously, so massive kudos to Broken for being one of those players who can sort of do the balancing act. It's a real challenge.
Well, Herbie, I'm with you on that. I realized fairly early on that if I was going to go far in Rocket League, the only option is to do it with casting, because it's not going to happen actually playing.
Yeah, I mean, if you can talk about other people failing at the game, maybe it just makes you feel that little bit better, you know?
Well, you know what? I was saying to someone, it might have been to Broken, that, you know, not being great at Rocket League makes me a good caster, because I'm genuinely excited by what they can do, because I can't do it.
Well, in terms of ranks, these players do sit at around 1700 MMR, which I believe is GC2 currently. I wouldn't know, I've never been there. But certainly operating at high levels of skill on both sides. So I think we can expect some good plays between people, link up on the chemistry. But also, it's not the absolute peak of ECC gameplay. It can be important to remember that. It's not Champ Stib, it's not Vortex, but it's certainly operating at high level. And it looks like we've got players sliding into the lobby now. So I think we are going to get this important Division 1 series underway as Astro Allegiance try and keep themselves in playoff contention. Valor Esports are putting their unbeaten record on the line.
Well, here we go. It's exciting stuff, and I've just seen a note that the Astro game went to Game 5, and it included 3 overtime games. So a really, really brutal series out there, Bertie.
Over to the back left corner then. Looking for the first goal is Astro Allegiance. SLK will clear this up to the halfway line where Shadow will send it straight back. And it is important for Astro to get a quick start in this series. The team that has played so much this evening, they have to try and at least keep that momentum going. Even if they weren't completely winning their matches that they've had so far, they've still gotten used to playing together as a team over the last couple of hours.
Yeah, well, early signs are pretty good. They've clearly warmed up. Shadow almost getting through there. And yeah, they're certainly not looking overawed now there. Phoenix going for a bump in net, but it's going to be cleared away by Snicks.
50 seconds into this game 1, still scoreless for the time being, but Astro Allegiance do have the better of the plays so far. Phoenix is going to look for Papa Barty on the left side, and they cross back over. SLK will follow it up into the corner, looking off the backboard. Papa Barty to try and push it back into the danger area, but Astro Allegiance's defense holds firm. And the pace has slowed down a little bit since the hot start that Astro Allegiance had. Maybe nerves are just starting to creep into their game now that they didn't get that early goal.
Yeah, well, I like what I'm seeing here from Astro in terms of their defenses. They've had quite a bit of pressure, but they're looking fairly organized in their defense, and they don't seem to be panic or snatching at it, rushing to get the ball out. They're looking to at least be organized as they move forward, but they're going to have to do some more of it here because they're under pressure. Double commit there almost gets them into trouble, but a pinch is going to relieve that pressure and perhaps an opportunity here for Astro.
SLK now in the back right has some room to maneuver and cuts inside. Broken will snatch that one away. Snicks down the left wing. They'll carry it up the sidewall looking to push this one into the danger area. Cuts it back looking for Broken in front, and it's deflected away by Papa Barty. Now a counter attack for Valor Esports. There is nobody on the line there. SLK will race towards the net, but Snicks keeps that one out. And I'm quite surprised that this is still scoreless a couple of minutes in. I feel like both teams have the offensive ideas, but just haven't been able to capitalise on any chances yet.
Yeah, well, that's all. Oh, was this going to be? Oh, I thought that was going to be a goal against the run of play there. But yeah, it is you know, you can have the pressure, but often get stuck in that final third, trying to find a way to get the ball to cross over the line. But I guess that both teams being fairly solid in their defense and being fairly deliberate in about trying to control the ball when it's up against their goal line and then take it out.
Well, not many shots on target so far in this game, just 5 between the two teams, and you can usually expect a decent team to generate 8 or 9 shots on target per game, so this is definitely some slow offense, but that's not very slow at all. It's a huge finish from Broken into the bottom left corner. That one comes in at 130 kilometers per hour. No chance for the defenders to keep that one out, and it's a thunderous way to put Astro Allegiance in front.
That was a fantastic finish, bottom left corner, and 130. It didn't bounce. It was pixels from the ground when it crossed over the line into the net, and that will certainly give Astro a little bit of confidence and maybe the sense that perhaps an upset could be on the cards here. But at this level of play, oh no! Just as we say that, Papa Barty breaks through, and perhaps I was too enthusiastic about Valor's chances here.
Yeah, it's a double commit there from 2 of the Astro Allegiance defenders. Broken and Snicks jump for the ball in unison, but it bounces off the ground. It's a good finish from Papa Barty in close to the front of the net, tying up the game for Valor Esports, and they've gotten the ball back from the kickoff. This could be another one in quick succession. Popped back out to the right wing where Papa Barty is there to follow it up, and Astro definitely feeling the heat at the moment. Having scored that first goal, they now find themselves right back on the back foot. It's almost like it woke Valor up, and maybe the offense has woken up here because Broken has come straight down the other end and restored the advantage for Astro Allegiance. This game has burst into life.
It's fabulous, and now Astro have got to hold on to this. You know, they worked so hard to finally score and then gave it away fairly cheaply and fairly quickly. They've managed to wrestle back the lead, and now their priority has got to be to tighten up at the back and not allow Valor to get back into this as quickly as they did after the last goal. But they've avoided the immediate after kickoff goal, so perhaps they can settle in now.
But they are very much on the back foot since the kickoff. All the possession has been with Valor. SLK with the demo on the far side will free up possession, but it is Shadow who takes it on with 1 minute to go. Astro Allegiance do get to clear their lines, and they'll breathe a little sigh of relief that they've managed to get out. Those are valuable seconds ticking off the clock right now for the team in orange. Phoenix will clear over to the back right corner, but Broken was there to collect it and steals the boost too. Wins a 50. Now they're going to go in search of a demo. Good interference play there from Broken, but Valor Esports is still going to get away with the ball and with a chance to equalise with 35 to go.
A sweaty 30 seconds coming up for Astro right here. They desperately want to hold on to this after the series they've just had. Broken almost getting the hat-trick. It just hits the post and squirts over the goal line and away. 18 seconds left to go, and you can see Astro just trying to get the ball away from their goal line, but here it comes again. Broken gets it away.
Last few seconds will tick off now. One more chance perhaps for Valor Esports to launch it forwards. It's a bit of a Hail Mary play. It's going to fall for Phoenix on the far side. Look for SLK in the middle. But it's a cool and confident clear there made by Shadow to get it away for Astro Allegiance, who win game 1. 2-1 the scoreline, identical to the margin by which they won game 1 against Fort Temple Renegades just now. Hopefully history is not repeating itself and they won't lose the next game 1-0, but certainly a low scoring series in that one, and this one seems to be headed in a similar direction.
Yeah, it was an interesting start. It seemed very pacey to begin with. Both teams, I think, wanting to assert themselves as quickly as they can, but then just as quickly as it got off, it seemed the pace backed off a little, and then it became a little slower, a little bit more deliberate. But Astro taking a lead, losing that lead almost immediately, but then regained it and held on. And good for them, and perhaps, maybe, just maybe, the start of an upset for the underdog team.
Well, to go into game 2 with a 1-0 series lead is always a positive boost for a team's momentum, but after that game 1, I wouldn't say Valor Esports will be feeling like they were comprehensively outplayed. It was a really gritty game that was fought hard. low scoring, and the goals that were scored in the middle section of the game were not of super high quality. I don't think it's really what we would expect of Division 1. It was a very tactical affair. Now the onus is on Valor Esports to respond with a couple of goals of their own that break open the game a little bit.
Yeah, nice bump play here, and they've left their net open at the back, did Valor, but they get away with it for now. Here comes Snex with a shot. Barty's going to get the save, and this is good. Good early pressure here from Astro.
Shadow from the ceiling tries to get the extra touch on this. Loose ball in front of the net is cleared out to the corner by Papa Barty, and here comes Broken looking for the extra shot. This one careens off the crossbar. Shadow to try and push it back into the middle, and Phoenix clears as far as the halfway line. Broken follows it into the offensive end and puts a pass into the middle. Now Valor Esports might have an opportunity to break. Here it comes off the post. This is a tricky ball to read though, and Astro are going to get back.
Yeah, that was tough, and they got away with what there you feel did Astro. They were playing a very high line, almost got counted. If the initial touch had been a little more on target, it would have been there. Now a double commit and attack is going to open up the Valor goal. Shadow! But what a save from Phoenix. Oh, what a play. Herbie, my word.
1-0 to Astro Allegiance, and well, they deserved that. I mean, the save from Phoenix on the initial shot is superb, and now Snicks on the follow-up had the chance into the top right corner. They strike first again. We'll see if Valor Esports produces an equally quick response. They are yet to register a shot on target in this game.
Yeah, Astro have done well, so history won't repeat itself, at least not in the second game with the scoreline, since Astro have scored. And if they can get a second goal here with a cushion, I think that could really set them up for this, because that would settle their nerves completely and make them quite confident of being able to just hold on to the play and start to dictate how the play goes from here. Oh, the Musty off the backboard. Oh!
Now Broken from the halfway line gives the ball away to Phoenix. SLK looks over the top. Here it comes off the backboard. Shadow with a good clear out to the wing. Astro Allegiance are really growing into this game and consequently the series overall. They do deserve their lead at the moment. They are playing a very sort of casual style of Rocket League, I have to say. Broken with a follow-up shot, hits the post. Phoenix clears as far as the halfway line. This one will be sent straight back into the middle, and Shadow leads it. Snakes has his second goal of the game. Valor Esports is... They're not doing so great at the moment, I have to say. Halfway point of this game, and they only have one goal in the series. Offensively, they just haven't gotten going yet.
Well, perhaps all those early games for Astro has stood them in good stead here, because you get Valor seem like the team that have not completely warmed up, particularly in the second game. They are still halfway through the game, yet to register a shot on goal. 8 shots on target have come from Astro, 2 of them converted, so they are absolutely having the better of the play right now.
2-0 at the halfway point of this game, pretty much. So there is still time on the clock for Valor Esports, but the situation is looking quite dire for them at the moment, and this is a real shock to the system for the team that has only lost 3 games in total so far this season from their opening 4 matches. They could well be looking at being 2-0 down in the series for the first time this season. Papa Barty bumped into from the back by Shadow there. Now Snicks from the left side to try and put it in, and SLK had missed it entirely. Big chance there for Astro Allegiance, whose confidence just continues to blossom.
I can't believe how far back Valor are being pushed right now. They're almost right up against their goal line for sustained periods of time. And Astro finding a way constantly to get the ball back into their half, back into threatening possessions. And here's another one, Shadow! Gonna finish off, and wow, this Astro team popping off right now, Herbie.
A couple of different players getting on the scoreboard for Astro Allegiance in this game. After Broken was the offensive spearhead in the opener of the series, now Snicks and Shadow both have goals, and that is huge for the confidence of Astro Allegiance. They are scoring some goals, which they didn't really do in the entirety of the series they had against the Fort Templar Renegades. They scored just 6 goals in 5 games. This is a complete and utter turnaround, and it really speaks to the energy that the team has managed to drench up from somewhere. After all of the matches that they played this evening, it looks like they may have saved their best performance for last. But wait, here are Valor Esports, and they're going to get one back. With 1 minute 14 seconds to go, it is Phoenix with the first goal of the game for them.
Yeah, a little casual in getting that ball away. Maybe overfilled with a bit of confidence from their early play, and it's a very dangerous, nervy time to be conceding. A minute 14 is plenty time, Herbie, for a team to find 2 counter goals, 2 quick goals, and suddenly be back in it. And that would be devastating for Astro, but they're not in trouble just yet. They still have the 2-goal cushion, and if someone can get on the end of that, Snicks almost does. Does he get the rebound? It's going to cut down off the bar. Oh, almost restoring their 3-goal lead there. But here comes Barty, just Shadow to beat. Shadow stands firm and gets the clear around the corner.
45 seconds left now, 2-goal deficit for Valor Esports to try and overcome. This is a huge flick from Snicks. Is it headed all the way in? No, SLK gets across to make the save. Now up onto the left side without boost. They'll launch it into the offensive end. Open for somebody to get on the end of it on the far side, but only Snicks is there for the touch for Astro Allegiance. But Papa Barty puts it back into the danger area. Phoenix is onto it, and Broken skips free beyond the defence. If they can push this one in, it will seal the deal, but SLK gets back to make the save. Valor Esports is still just about in this one. Over to the halfway line where Phoenix clears it into the corner. Up to midfield, but nobody's really there to shoot for Valor. SLK gets it over to the right wing, but they are very much running out of time now. Astro Allegiance look like they are going to hang on, and they're going to go 2-0 up in this series.
Well, well, well. So an undefeated team here now facing the prospect. They've lost 3 games the whole season. They've just lost 2 on the trot and are facing a sweep. And this is where great teams are made, when they face massive adversity. You know, it's easy to be confident and feeling full of spirit when things are going your way. But now we see, how does Valor respond when it's kind of gone against them, and now they have to reverse sweep to take the series.
Well, you back the underdogs, and that's looking like a pretty decent bet so far, because Astro Allegiance heavily outshot Valor in that game. 11 shots to 3 in favour of the orange team. And for Valor Esports, the act of a reverse sweep is, well, the most difficult thing you can accomplish in a best-of-5, really. You've got to take it one game at a time. Don't think about the broader extent of the series as a whole, because even in the individual games, you've got something to play for. Even if you don't win this series, you don't want to be losing it 3-0. That is a big bit of damage to your game win difference. The fact that you only lost 3 games in the first 4 matches of the season becomes completely irrelevant when you drop 3 on the bounce and your game win difference drops just to +6. So they've got to just take it one game at a time, create some more chances, and just think about each play individually as opposed to the overarching task that awaits them.
And then by the same token, on the other side of the coin, Astro don't want to get too far ahead of themselves, but they nearly have the ideal start. They just want to play this game like it's the first, just do what they've been doing, keep it solid, keep it aggressive like they have, rotate well, defend well, and let the game come to them. Shadow now, does he get the double? He doesn't. It's cleared away by Barty. Oh, and a mistake here might open an opportunity. It's 2v1 for a brief moment, but Broken will get the clear.
Papa Barty chips over one defender, now has the second beat too, but it clatters off the crossbar. Broken will clear this one up to halfway. Papa Barty is equal to it for Valor Esports, who would love to get the first goal of game 3. SLK with the pile driver, that one also hits the crossbar. Little bit unfortunate not to be in front, but sometimes you've got to make your own luck in Rocket League, and Broken does exactly that. Pinches in off the defender after barreling their way in down the right side. Astro Allegiance in front.
Herbie, your timing couldn't have been any better on what you just said. Making your own luck, and there it happens. Somewhat fortunate, but the work by Broken was very good. And for the 3rd game on the trot, it is Astro that take first blood in the game. And scoring first, they've not lost so far.
Yeah, Valor Esports will have to do something that they haven't managed at all so far in their series, and that's come back from behind. They have not led at all in the series. Papa Barty wins this ball back in the corner to try and make something happen. I feel like for Valor Esports, they could use a few more demos just to unsettle the Astro Allegiance defenders. They look like they're playing Scrim Rocket League right now. Very calm and composed, taking their opportunities when they're presented, and defensively, they have rarely been challenged.
And speaking of demos, there it comes on the other side. Almost opens an excellent opportunity for Astro to get a second. But they are still in the ascendancy. They have possession. They have territorial. They have pressure and looking to make it count. If they can go up a second goal, I then wonder if it's going to become a bridge too far for Valor. But that is still yet to pass, if indeed it does. Or an opportunity now if Valor can get to the other side quick enough, but Broken brings that press forward to an abrupt end.
Halfway point of game 3 now. Still the 1-goal lead for Astro Allegiance that was given to them by Broken. So Valor Esports still very much in this, but as it has been for the entire series, their offensive woes continue, and Astro Allegiance just have that confidence. I mean, look at Shadow carrying the ball over to the right side. Now directs it towards the middle, where Papabati collects the ball in their back left corner. They've got no boost to work with. They nearly turn it over, and that could have been very costly for them. They are going to get away with it, but they're playing with fire at the back right now. Over to the back left it goes once again, and this time Papabati sends it clear. All 3 players are up for this. SLK can't send it all the way home.
And we've seen a couple of attempts hit the crossbar, hit the woodwork, and now a play which was looking very threatening. They don't get the final touch on it. And you start to wonder, that starts to play in your mind, and you go, have the Rocket League gods decided that today we shall not score? Because the opportunities they've had, and they're Broken, jumping in front of a shot, getting a save, they just cannot find their way through. Astro found their way through once and coming close for a second.
1 minute 26 to go now. Time is ticking for Valor Esports if they are to get back into this game and the series as a whole. But here is a ball in from Papabati, and that is a finish that they will treasure. Not exactly a deserving goal, but, well, sometimes your luck can turn.
And is that an important moment? You know, great events turn on small hinges, Herbie, and a mistake in defense that really should have been saved. And it's a nervy time now for Astro, because things can turn very quickly. If Valor suddenly get a bit of confidence from that, 1 goal leads to many so often in Rocket League. So the next minute is going to be very telling for Astro and also for Valor.
Yeah, definitely. Astro are going to be, if Valor extend this series by winning game 3, the minds of Astro will be on the series that they just lost in 5 games. They want to win this right now. Here is a chance for SLK. That one deflects away off the post. Valor Esports certainly have the run and play at the moment, but they still need a goal. They are still in a very precarious position in this series. Astro Allegiance could get out of jail with a single goal of their own. Now Shadow cuts to the right wing, gets a blank off the sidewall, and they get the ball back again. There's a break free from the defence, but Phoenix has done so well to recover. Broken looking into the middle for Snicks, but SLK will get that one away.
An opportunity there to almost certainly end it all and take the series in a sweep. It doesn't come to pass. And Astro have faced 3 overtimes in their last series. They might well be facing one here, unless they can finish. Snicks, Broken. It's loose in the middle. Can someone get on the end of it? The clock has run down. The ball is still up. SLK bringing it up to the Astro goal line. And now finally it will bounce, and we do have our first overtime.
Will it be the last? Astro Allegiance need just 1 goal to take this series in a 3-0 sweep and cap off a superb upset. But Valor Esports are bringing the heat in the offensive end. They get the bump in front. Here is SLK! And it's 2-1. Valor Esports have the win. They are back in this series.
Astro are not going to have it all their way. The brutal bump setting up that goal. And it's a dangerous moment. Of course, in this situation, you'd rather be Astro being up 2-1. But if Valor, given their record up to here, if they can turn the corner on their performance, this could be dangerous waters ahead for Astro.
Well, Valor Esports did show us why they were a team that had started the season 4-0, because they just dredged up something from what was a pretty dire performance in the first couple of games. They generated 7 shots on target in this one, and it was just as if something clicked for them heading into the final couple of minutes of this game 3. So it's almost like we've got renewed vigour on the part of Valor Esports, and for Astro Allegiance, the challenge now is for them to see out the series in Utopia Coliseum in game 4, or face the horrors of a potential another game 5 after they've just lost one.
If Valor do overcome here and they prevail and take this game, I don't know if Astro can do it in game 5. I just think it's going to put them on edge to be facing yet another game 5 situation in a series. But we're not there yet. Snex is going to get the clearance away, but only as far as Phoenix is going to look to bring it back down. Papa Barty's up. The shot is weak and cleared relatively easily by Broken.
Now to the halfway line. Phoenix will send it back for Valor Esports, and they've got free roam up in the air to put this ball into the centre. Snix clears it. SLK is up there for the rebound. It's a huge 50 in the air. Banks off the ceiling and falls favourably for Valor Esports to put it back across the net. But nobody's home on the far side to receive it. SLK wins a 50 off a Broken. Astro Allegiance really double committing there on the far side. It's nothing like the performance we saw from them in the first half of Game 1 and Game 2.
And they've spent the first minute of this game, they've spent the bulk of it facing an onslaught from Valor. And that can't go on for too long without conceding. They've got to find a way out of their half and back into the attacking play we saw from them, particularly in Game 2. The demo, such an important touch from Snix to get that clear.
The next goal in this series is such an important one. You can feel the tension in the air between these two teams at the moment, and the momentum is hanging on a knife edge. Either of these teams scores a goal, they're going to be feeling huge amounts of confidence, and Astro Allegiance are the team pressing for it right now. But here comes a quick counter-attack down the left side as SLK looks for Papa Barty, takes one player out of the play, but Snix is having none of it. Broken gets the demo on SLK to free up some room for Astro Allegiance to get it clear. Now Broken looking over the top as Snix was in there behind looking for some bumps, but there are no real attacking outlets for either of these teams so far. It is back and forth.
Opportunity for Broken, the net for Valor open for a brief moment. Broken looking for the pass, but the demo on his teammate will put paid to that offensive maneuver.
SLK back to the halfway line as Snix has an opportunity to take the ball on from distance. They go up there for the drag, but Papa Barty is equal to it. It falls for Broken off the crossbar. It's loose in front. Papa Barty gets a touch, and Shadow is there on the far side. 1-0 to Astro Allegiance.
Well, that was so close. It rolled along the squeeze off the post from Papa Barty, but Shadow's there to pick up the loose ball and send it home. And again, it is Astro that score first. They've done it every game, but they did lose. They did lose in Game 3 for the first time after the opening goal, and my word, Herbie, that was so close to an instant second goal.
Yeah, that's not the kind of defending you'd be too used to seeing at a Division 1 level. That was very nearly a dire own goal that would have cost Valor Esports big time in this game, but as it is, they remain 1-0 down, and well, they overcame that deficit in Game 3, so anything's possible from here on out. But Astro Allegiance have the goal that has them playing a little bit more like they did in Game 2, but here comes a shot from Phoenix. That one's turned into the corner. Papa Barty is onto it. SLK now takes over. 2 defenders to beat, but takes a bump on the way from Broken. Now Snix looking into the centre for Shadow, and they're just going to get that ball clear. Anywhere will do.
This is dangerous. Broken does get there first. And if there's any lesson they can take out of that last game, it's that one goal isn't enough. And just like that, one goal becomes 2. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough with 1:45 left to go.
Will this be the final game of a lengthy evening for Astro Allegiance? They've given themselves a good shout of winning the series in 4 by taking a 2-goal lead. Now they fake the kickoff. That's going to slow down Valor Esports on the counter-attack a little bit. Valuable time ticking by for Astro to try and win the series in. Now Valor Esports break down the middle. SLK's shot scuffed over to the far corner. Broken is up there looking for Snix. Now Snix going back for Broken, but Phoenix will get it away.
A nervy time, a minute and a half. 2 goals that they can hang on to, that they can defend. But they don't want to loosen up now. Keep it tight at the back. And this series is theirs. They look to do that now, but facing a Valor who's going to become more and more desperate and start really, really pushing this game. They're going to have to be on their toes, Astro, to take this. The demo is not going to matter because Broken has gotten it all the way over to the other side and forces out a touch away from net from Phoenix.
Just 1 minute now, and Astro Allegiance have the ball right where they want it, but that's not going to last too long. Here comes SLK, one-on-one with Broken. Phoenix fires in the shot! Oh, it's a crossbar again. They've had too many of those in this series. Chances that could have gotten Valor back into it, but they are not done in the offensive third yet. This one is a huge clear by Broken. Now 2 Astro defenders following it into the offensive end. Shadow just has to put it on a plate for Snicks, and a 3-goal lead with 33 seconds to go. That should be it.
Well, this is going to be a turn for the books there, Herbie. Astro looking very, very solid, and there was a lot of pressure coming from Valor, but they've missed. They've hit the woodwork. They've not taken their opportunities. Astro seem to have taken all of theirs, and now they can pretty much coast to the end here. They don't need to do anything crazy. Oh my word! What was that, Herbie?
Well, it was a goal, and the goal was exactly what Valor Esports needed. Timely, 18 seconds left, but they need 2 more at least to get themselves back into this game. Time is not on their side. What can they do from the kickoff? It's a 2-on-2 scenario, but SLK and Shadow will take it on. Over to Phoenix on the right side, who has no boost, but they've got to try and make something happen here, or Valor Esports races run. But here puts SLK into the middle, and it's 3-2 with 10 seconds to go. Is this comeback actually on?
My comment was going to be, is this too little too late after the first goal? But my word, 7 seconds it took for them to get the second. This is going to be an agonizing 10 seconds for Astro. Valor will push hard, but it starts well. They smash the kickoff. They just got to hold possession. The clock has run out. Valor have to keep it up. And they don't. And we have an upset. Herbie, the undefeated team are no longer undefeated.
Yes, a 4-game series victory for Astro Allegiance, and you have to say it's a result that the team richly deserves. From start to finish, they played well, and certainly with the evening that they've had, it was always going to be a challenging series for them, but they've gotten the victory. They are going to move themselves up to a 4-2 record and put themselves into 3rd in the table, so they will finish today moving up ahead of Equizzers and Last Wind. Valor Esports will now be 4-1, and with the loss in 4 games, they have handed Irrelevant Esports the initiative in the title race, as the team sitting 5-1 at the top of the table can now breathe a little sigh of relief that the last unbeaten team has fallen.
And Rocket League is one of those games that can turn on small events, and on the day a team can show up and just have a good day. And to be fair to Valor, I think, you know, they're certainly better players than what we saw from them here. They just had a poor series, and they just couldn't get it together quick enough. There was a glimmer of hope after they took Game 3, and I did think that there was a moment where the momentum could shift and Astro would then be overwhelmed, but it wasn't to be. Astro did fantastically to come out in that last game the way they did, play the way they did. They take it all the way, they take it home, they take the series.
Yeah, Valor Esports, I think it was a little too quiet on the blue team's front. Just for the first couple of games of the series, they really just left it too late to get themselves back into it. They hadn't really woken up prior to the midway point of Game 3. And of course, that's pretty late to be trying to get yourselves into a series. So from there on, Astro Allegiance simply had the confidence to see it out. They had plenty of opportunities to do so, and credit to them for getting the victory. But that is all she wrote for this stream this evening. We had 2 matches tonight. The first was unfortunately cancelled. It was Sunset Sloopers forfeiting at the hands of Godalian's Divinity before HG Esports took down the Oofstones in 4 games, and you've just witnessed Astro Allegiance getting themselves a much needed victory after a defeat to Fort Templar Renegades. This one comes in 4 games over Valor Esports, the formerly unbeaten side. A huge result for them, but of course Valor Esports contribute to Slipstream in more ways than simply participating in the league. They are one of our sponsors. You can check them out with the Valor command in the chat. But just to help you out a little bit before we go, have a look at some adverts.